Welcome to Gaston Spotlight. I'm your host, Micaela Barrientos, and with me in the studio today is Joshua McCarty, a commercial filmmaker whose journey is as powerful as his visuals. Today, we'll be discussing Joshua's path into filmmaking and how he turned a second chance into a thriving career, and the exciting launch of his new talk show coming in 2026. Welcome, Joshua. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. Thank you, Micaela.
Okay, so your filmmaking story starts in an unexpected place. Can you take us back to that moment when you first picked up a camera and realized that this could be your way forward?
Well, in 2007, I committed a crime that landed me in prison in Georgia for 6 years. When I got out of prison, it was hard for me to find a good paying job. You know, I worked at places like Walmart, gas stations and stuff, but I think minimum wage at the time was $7.25.
Oh, wow.
And when you're only making $250 a week, it's hard to take care of yourself and your family. So I had to think of something to make a pivot. So I picked up a camera and I said I was gonna start a YouTube channel like everybody decides to start. I never really started the channel, but my friend saw me with the camera and said, "Hey, could you film my birthday party? I'll pay you $150. So I filmed the birthday party, which lasted like an hour, and he paid me $150. So I realized, man, I just made $150 an hour worth of work. So I went to YouTube University and just studied as much as I could. I learned like a lot of stuff through like tutorials and stuff, and it landed me, I guess, here where I am today.
Oh, wow. So you learned a lot of your stuff from YouTube, from watching tutorials, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. So you've been in the business for nearly 6 years now. Looking back, what was the biggest turning point that made you feel, okay, this is really happening, this is my career? What made you think that way?
I think it was that first time I filmed that birthday party and realized, man, I just made 80% of my paycheck in doing 1 hour of work, and I enjoyed what I was doing, and when I get back behind like the laptop and do editing and stuff, I'm in the zone and I'm focused and I love doing it. Anytime I go to work, when it's Sunday night, I always get anxiety. It's like, oh, I gotta go to work again. I hate it, I can't stand it. My stomach start bubbling, and it just made me realize that I wasn't born to work for like other people for the rest of my life, and it gives me like freedom to do video stuff.
That's really great and so inspiring.
Thanks.
So transitioning from prison to entrepreneurship is a powerful journey. What were some of the challenges you faced while entering the workforce, and how did those challenges shape your approach to building your business?
Well, I think the hardest thing for me was not seeing nobody that came from prison doing like filmmaking. I'm pretty sure there was people out there, but I didn't have like an example to look toward. So I had to start everything from scratch. I had to learn like the ins and outs of business, of building a brand. I had to go through the headaches of opening Adobe Premiere for the first time, learning the software, learning After Effects, and now it eventually resolved because Adobe wants to crash all the time. So just the learning pains of just starting a business and not having an example or a mentor to look for was like the hardest part.
Okay. So before filmmaking, and you mentioned that you worked like jobs like Walmart and it was hard for you to get those jobs. So how did those experiences influence your creative process or work ethic once you started producing commercial content that I'm pretty sure you still do up until now?
Yeah, so it helped me because it helped me teach me how to work along with people. It taught me how to project manage, how to be on time, because you know when you work for yourself, it's easy to wake up whenever you want to and go to sleep whenever you want to. But I believe working all those odd jobs taught me like structure to let me know, okay, I still need to get up at a certain time. I still need to get work done at a certain time. And on the flip side of that, it also taught me that I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Working at like Walmart or Burger King, and there's nothing wrong with it when you're getting started, but like as you grow, I'm 34 now. As you get older, you don't want to be in the same position that you were when you was like 16 or 17.
Right. So do you also think that working those jobs helped you, create that creative process that you have now?
Yeah, I believe they did because I made a lot of interesting people from the jobs that I've had. So some work I still pull characters and personalities from people who I met on those jobs. So I believe the jobs that I work really helped me become the person that I am and build the brand that I have now.
All right, so speaking of communicating and connecting with people, you've worked with a lot of major brands. Which project pushed you the most creatively and why?
So I would say probably I did a commercial for Planet Fitness. They were starting the Planet Fitness. This is when I lived in Georgia. and they was building a Planet Fitness down the street from me. So I reached out to the marketing director and asked her if I could film the commercial, the grand opening commercial there for free, just to have like a big brand in my portfolio. She was a little bit hesitant at first because at the time I've only done work for like coffee shops and barber shops. But it was free, so I guess she said, what do we got to lose? So we went through the whole creative brief. I talked to the producer and the director on set, and I was nervous. And what's that word? The imposter syndrome kicked in. I was like, oh man, what did I do? I think I bit off more than I can chew. But I did the project. It turned out well. Everybody was happy with it. And when I finally saw the finished product, I looked at it. I said, okay, I can do this. That's when I realized I could do this for the rest of my life.
Wow, so you mentioned that you worked with different commercials such as coffee shops.
Yep.
And what other commercials have you done in the past?
So I've done commercials for Planet Fitness, TrackMan. It's a big like digital brand that does work with like a lot of golf, indoor golf companies, builds the software for them. I've done a commercial for like Planet Fitness, done some for Dial, the soap brand, and a lot of other small brands too.
Okay. So are you the ones directing them, or what's the process in those?
So mostly it's so I was a PA on the Walking Dead for like a year, and I realized I don't want to be a PA because most of the time you're just sitting around or grabbing coffee for people or like getting camera lenses and stuff. So I realized then I don't want like working with like big 20, 30, 50 people teams. So now mostly I work with a skeleton crew. It's like 5 people on set. It's me, a director, probably a first AC, a second AC, and sometimes a makeup person on set.
Oh, okay. So how does your past influence the kinds of story you want to tell through your work today? Because I know your past, and you've mentioned it right now that you went to prison. So how does it influence you?
Well, I feel like I have a duty to tell stories from people who are not heard in the community, and I always try to put some of those stories inside of the stories that I tell for other people, and like my narrative work and my commercial work. And I'm big on humor. I used to want to be a comedian when I was growing up. So I always try to add humor in like my projects as well.
Okay, so you want to basically influence people and share your story. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
and share their stories too. Because I know it's a lot of people who have stories that needs to be heard, and they just need, I guess, a filmmaker like me and like everybody here to help tell those stories.
So you're launching a biblical-based talk show in February 2026. Congratulations on that, by the way. And what inspired this new direction, and what kind of conversations do you hope the show will spark?
Okay, so now I'm getting excited. So the name of the show is called Code of the Beast, and throughout my whole life I've always been a believer. I was raised Christian by my parents, and with the influx of AI and artificial intelligence here, I can't help but think of the Bible scriptures, the chapter of Revelations in the Bible where it talks about like the mark of the beast and people having to take a mark either on their right hand or their forehead in order to like buy, sell, and trade. And I know that it may not be coming in my lifetime, but it may come in my child's lifetime or their child's lifetime. And I just want to, I guess, inform people that it's coming, because like there's a lot of pastors and preachers that talk about like prosperity gospels and stuff like that. But they're not talking about like the stuff that's, I guess, unfolding before us in front of our eyes. And I just want to let people know that it's coming, and I want people to know that, to be able to see the signs so they won't, I guess, take the mark, and they also be aware of the ramifications of taking the mark as well. So,
okay. So for people who may be where you once were feeling stuck, what would you say to them about finding purpose and choosing a new path?
I would say figure out what you're good at, what you're naturally good at, and try to build a business around that. Don't just look for the money, because if you look for money, it's always going to be, you might work for here for a year, then say, okay, I want to do this. But at the end of 10 or 20 years, you still haven't built a career yet because you haven't stuck to one specific spot. So I always encourage people to figure out something that they're good at naturally, and something that they enjoy doing that comes to them naturally, and try to build a business around that, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's cooking, whether it's cutting hair, whatever it is. Just try to build a business around that, and understand also that it's going to be difficult in the beginning to get clients, to build a brand. You're going to have times where you're going to want to quit, but just keep pushing forward, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
All right. Thank you so much for being an inspiration. And I think it's really great that you're always pushing forward to what you want. And that's what will make you successful. Thank you so much. Well, that's all the time we have for today, Joshua. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your journey, as well as the incredible work you're doing in the world of filmmaking and beyond. If you'd like to see more of what we do here in Broadcasting Program, you can follow us on Instagram at Gaston Broadcast. I'm your host, Michaela, and this has been Gaston Spotlight.